What's happening, guys? Sam Adams here, and welcome to another episode of Decaf right here on YouTube or on Anchor, depending on where you are watching or listening from. But this is my series where I talk about content creation itself. Of course, normally I'm covering gaming industry news, covering gaming news itself. But today, and with this podcast series, I always talk about the back end of things, what it's like making stuff throughout the week for people to enjoy online. And as I always say, take what I have to say with a grain of salt. This isn't my full-time job. You know, I'm not a full-time Twitch streamer. I'm not a full-time YouTuber. I'm not a full-time Mixer streamer, whatever it may be. I'm not that. I'm just a guy that likes making videos. I'm just a guy that likes making Twitch streams and Mixer streams and a whole bunch of other stuff. I just do what I do. So, with that being said, today we're going to be talking about online personas and transparency, because I feel like it's something that is a big topic that needs to be addressed, especially for those that are just getting into creating content itself. And throughout this entire episode of Decaf, I'm going to be using the example of DrDisrespect. And for those that don't know Doc, he is pretty much the #1 Twitch streamer for the majority of the time throughout the day. He was definitely a big dude whenever PUBG was at its peak popularity, but he still has a lot of people that enjoyed the content that he makes. But a little bit of background on DrDisrespect: he puts out this persona of being the most badass on the internet. He has a mullet, he has sports glasses, he has this jumpsuit that he wears, he has an amazing getup, and that's what he does. He is 100% an entertainer. You know, that is what his shtick is, and it is very impressive, because the persona that he puts on is one that is so high octane, so excited, so out there, that you can't help but be amazed at the fact that this man even exists. I love Doc, and I love the value that he brings to the Twitch community and to the entertainment community overall. He's got some amazing content out there that I highly recommend that you check out. But with that being said, you would be naive to expect that that is who that man actually is on the inside. In fact, a little bit of background on Doc: he used to work for Sledgehammer Games. He used to be the community manager, and then he went over and he started doing some of the level design work, I believe, at Sledgehammer Games. But eventually, whenever he began streaming on Twitch, he found a huge following, and that has now become his full-time thing. But my point with telling that story is that his online persona isn't necessarily who he is in real life. In fact, and I hate to bring it up, don't want to get any kind of hate for bringing this back up, but towards the end of 2017, Doc actually went live, and he didn't have his persona on. He didn't wear his mullet wig. He didn't have any kind of jumpsuit or anything. Literally just a regular dude. And he came out and said that he had made some mistakes in his life. He came out and said that he had made some choices that were less than favorable, and that he would be taking some time off from the Twitch stream to deal with the repercussions of the choices that he made in his real life. And so that moment right there is what I want to focus on. It's the transparency with your community that makes the lasting impact. It's being able to take off the persona and being able to come out and say, hey guys, this is what's going on. This is what's going on with the content. This is how my life is going to be impacting the content that I put out, and I hope you guys understand. And that's something that I find to be a very hard pill to swallow. For those that follow my content, and for those that follow me on Twitter or anything like that, you'll know that I'm making live content, I'm making pre-recorded content like this, I'm doing podcasts, I'm doing a lot of stuff throughout the week: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all this stuff. I've got a lot going on, and it tends to be that I try and fulfill every expectation that I personally set for myself throughout the week. I try not to give myself any kind of break, because I love doing what I do. I simply just enjoy it. And so that's probably an issue with me, but when it comes down to it, I had to make a call last night where I knew that I had to work on some school stuff. I knew that I needed some sleep in order to be able to function, to successfully navigate the god-awful sea of hell that is college, and I had to call off the stream. And I was transparent. I was like, hey guys, listen, I'm not feeling playing a game tonight. I couldn't play something if I tried. I just can't focus on that right now. I've got so much going on, and people understood. People appreciated the fact that I was finally taking some time for myself. People understood that I needed some time away from keyboard, for lack of a better term, and they were totally cool with that. So what I mean to say here, what I really want you to take home is that when you're out there making stuff online, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a Twitch stream, whether it be a Mixer stream, a YouTube series, whatever it may be, be real. Be somebody who is relatable. If you put on a persona, if you do an act, if you do any kind of stuff like that where you become somebody else when you stream, know whenever there's a time to cut that off and be like, hey guys, listen, this is what's going on. I've got to be real with you. You know, we have a good time, but I've got to do this. This is what's going on, changing the content, whatever it may be, whether it be a life circumstance or a content change. Be real with your people, because there's nothing that is more harmful to your online career than being fake. For those that know me, for those that interact with me on Instagram and Twitter, and also in real life, you'll know that I'm a really, transparent, real individual. I don't sugarcoat anything. I very rarely even exaggerate. Like, does this dress make you look fat? You don't look great. No, I would never say that, but you know what I'm saying? I'm very real with everything. And so I think that's a key in forming online lasting relationships with the people that enjoy your content. And also, it's a great way to network with people and be like, hey, this is who I am. I'm not lying. This is what you're working with. Come at me. See what we got going on. I feel like that's a big part of success in the online creation industry overall. But that's just my 2 cents. I thought I would go ahead and put that out there. And also, to follow that up, whenever I say, be transparent if you got something going on, be real with your audience, and be like, hey, don't abandon your schedule. Scheduling is a very imperative part of content creation, and probably something that I'll talk about later in a video, in maybe another episode of Decaf. But being able to stick to a schedule, 9 times out of 10, is a big part of what is going to get you noticed. It's a big part of what's going to get you a following. It's a big part of being successful in general, both in online content creation and in real life. Being on time, being able to be, people can hold you accountable to be at a specific place and to have your uploads there in their sub box at a specific time. And that's a big part of being a successful online person. But that's a video for another day. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Decaf. If you did, then by all means, drop me a like down below if you're on YouTube. If you're over on Anchor, favorite the podcast, and also drop some of those applause, baby. Give me some of that, please, if you did feel so compelled. And of course, Caffeinate's up right now for this morning, April the 25th, and I'll be live streaming over on mixer.com/Samuel Adams. Links for everything are down below, but I hope you guys have a fantastic one. I will talk to you soon. Peace.